The $80 game debate has been one of the biggest topics of conversation in the industry lately. And here on this channel, we've certainly talked about it a lot. In fact, we have an entire playlist dedicated to it. And yes, I have said some pretty wild things.
All I'm saying is that Randy Pitchford is our anchor bean, okay?
Now, that was said with tongue firmly in cheek, obviously, but I genuinely do think that we owe a very real debt to Randy Pitchford's inability to gracefully deliver bad news. Randy didn't just stumble, he face-planted on the world stage. And somehow, in doing so, he became a confused lighthouse, standing in the middle of a tsunami of bad PR, and lighting the way for everyone else to back the hell off of $80 games. Xbox reversed course on this holiday season. EA publicly said that they didn't want the smoke until at least 2026. And all of it, in my deeply unqualified opinion, traces back to one man in a sequined blazer getting absolutely roasted by the entire internet. Which brings us to our next potential fiscal champion, GTA 6. If Rockstar can just hold the line at $70 for Grand Theft Auto 6, I truly think that we will not see an $80 third-party release until at least 2027, maybe beyond. Let's break it down. Hear my case here. It has been announced that EA is not going to be doing anything that is $80 at least this fiscal year, which would lead into next year. They are out of the $80 game debate for the time being. And Andrew Wilson, their CEO, basically in an earnings call put that out and said that they weren't going to be doing that. So we have basically the start of everything was Nintendo came out, Mario Kart's going to be $80. Xbox came out and said, hey, all of our releases, like first party releases starting holiday 2025, $80. Then we actually had GTA 6 drop to next year. And then we had Borderlands 4. And it was sort of like all eyes were on Borderlands 4. With GTA 6 dropping out, Borderlands 4 was the next big release that was going to be third party. So all we had up to that point was first party games were going to be $80. Who was going to be the first third party to go 80? And it came down to Borderlands 4. All eyes, unjustly, probably, but all eyes came down to Borderlands 4 and Randy Pitchford. And he, as he is wont to do, we love you, Randy, but he fumbled that PR. It was a PR disaster. It was the talk of the gaming media. Everything he said got lambasted. And then he apologized. And then his apologies were skewered. And then he said something else. And that was overanalyzed. It was a nightmare, which I'm sure, as long as Randy just doesn't tweet, I'm sure they are probably content that it is over. But after that, we had Xbox announce that not only was Outer Worlds 2 not going to go to $80, they weren't going to do any of these price increases holiday 2025 like they said. None of the holiday releases are going to be $80. Now we have EA saying that we're not going to be doing $80 games, at least for fiscal year 2025, which assumedly includes Battlefield. So now we have everybody that was first running headlong into $80 games is now retreating. And I think it's because of the absolute nightmare whirlwind of PR that surrounded Randy Pitchford in Borderlands 4. That is my conspiracy. Your thoughts, Jay?
Well, my first thought is, without even knowing it, I feel like Randy Pitchford fell on the sword for the entire
That's what I'm saying.
game development community. You know, thanks
you,
Randy, for that. Yeah, thanks for falling on the sword for that. I'm sure EA's thankful, and whoever else that's coming out with titles. Konami's got Metal Gear coming out. We've got Gears of War coming out. This is actually a pretty big month in gaming coming up in August. I think there's like 16 AAA titles coming out in August. Do I still think it's inevitable that we're going? Absolutely. Yeah, I think we're going to see it by holidays.
I don't. I do not think we'll be seeing it by holidays. I don't think it'll be. I think it'll be next year.
And you may be right.
Listen, if Randy Pitchford can survive the wrath of the internet, you and I can survive our next workday. Especially if you are wrapped in the soft, judgment-free embrace of comfort clothing. Look, we may not be able to stop $80 games forever, but we can put a stop to scratchy hoodies, stiff collars, and pants that require a button. That's where comfort comes in. It's like being hugged by a cloud that believes in you. Go to comfort.com/hardcore to get 15% off your entire order. Because life is hard. Your clothes shouldn't be. Because if Xbox has already said, okay, no, we're not doing it for holidays. EA said they're not going to do it at least for fiscal year 2025, and Borderlands 4 is not going to be it. I think anybody would be crazy to try to do it. Obviously, the reason that everybody is trying to run as quickly as they can away from it is because of how unpopular they saw that it was. And now I'm sure that we're probably going to be having this same conversation again early next year, probably around the time that GTA 6 comes out. And you and I have both had our speculations on that. And we both kind of said that as it is right now, the temperature of the games industry right now, they would just be best off leaving it as is and just getting a bajillion buyers so that they can make their money back on online.
Well, yeah, and both of us said that about Sony when this first came up with the whole Nintendo bit.
Yeah, we're like,
And-
just
and
hold.
Trust me when I tell you, I want to believe you more than I want to believe me.
I think what happened though was, like I said, Randy is our anchor bean, and where Randy goes, as do we all. And Randy, as you said, fell on the sword, and it was brutal. It was brutal.
Yeah.
And I think everybody saw that, and they're like, "Oh, I think all these people, I think EA, Xbox, all these people thought, you know what? Just like they always have, we're gonna say a price. They're gonna mumble about it. They're gonna complain about it, but then they're gonna buy the games. And then there's something about this $80 wall that seems to be the stopping point. I don't know what it is, but it's even that way for me, where there's games where I'm like, you know what? At 50, no brainer. At 60, yeah, I'd probably buy it. At 70, I'll buy it whenever maybe whenever I want to play it, I'll wait and buy it then. But at 80, I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not buying it. So there's something about this $80 wall that has just touched a nerve where it's even where the people are more resistant to it than ever. Because I think at that point, a lot of us just kind of round up. And I think once you hit $80, you just think $100, and then you're like, do I want to part with $100 right now?
Yeah, and that's probably what'll happen. But I got to tell you, like right now, it's easy for me to take a idealistic approach and go, yeah, we're not ready for $80. But the realism in me is going to set, if we're having this conversation a year from now, and it's the same people, I'm going to be like, you know what, nut up and pay the $80 because it's here. We're not stopping it. It's been another whole year. How long did you honestly think they were going to hold it back?
Well, so this is what I think. I think Randy saved us all. His public lashings and embarrassment saved us this holiday season. You love him or hate him. I love him. You love him. You know, we've been very gracious to him on the show while we have had our fun. But even the people love him or hate him, I think the lashings that the public tomato throwing that this dude endured got us a $70 holiday season. And I think next year, the bellwether is going to be GTA 6. And I think if GTA 6 holds, just like Sony held, like this whole thing, Sony never announced one way or the other. Sony didn't have to backtrack because Sony just held tight. They're like, no, we're just gonna ride this out. Let's just see how this goes. And so now they get to stand tall and be like, okay, well, we don't have to announce any changes. We just go about things as usual. But I think that GTA 6 will be the one, because if GTA 6 moves to 80, then everybody's going to want to say, okay, well, now we're 80 because we're just as good as GTA 6, even though they know that not nearly the amount of effort has gone into it. But if GTA 6 launches and it launches at $70, I don't think anybody has an argument to make that their game should be $80 when GTA launched at 70. So I think the bellwether for next year is GTA, and whatever GTA sets their price as, that's going to be the cap for another year.
Did you see the financial stat video on GTA last week for GTA 6?
I saw and heard that it is possible. Obviously, this is all these kinds of numbers.
Part of it's projection, right?
But I had heard that the total development cost for GTA 6 could be near and around. Hear my words, because this you will not mishear this. $2 billion. $2 billion.
For a comparison, if you need one, it only cost $1.6 billion to build the Burj Khalifa skyscraper in Dubai. So we're talking about a game that, with development, marketing, everything that goes into it, is going to cost more to make than it costs to build the entire Burj Khalifa. And that within 30 days, they're projected to clear somewhere in the neighborhood of, there's numbers between 10 billion and 30 billion
I heard
in the
low
first
balls of
month.
7.
Yeah.
And I think that was within I think that was a projection from within the first week.
Yeah, that's
power.
That's printing money. So my point is that they don't need to charge $80.
No.
They're going to be printing money for shark cards. They're going to be printing money for the game.
And
Part of me thinks that Rockstar's like, you know what? We're going to give it to you for $70. Let somebody that thinks their game is better than ours bust the $80 cap so that we can laugh at you.
Exactly. And that's what's going to happen. If they come out and they say, we're $70, and then Call of Duty Modern Warfare 48 comes out, and they're like, there's no campaign, it's all multiplayer, and it's $80. Everybody's gonna be like, yeah, no.
And it's a 1 terabyte install.
Yeah, like, no, man. Like, are you kidding me? GTA 6 was 70. I dare somebody to put their game out at $80 after GTA launches at 70.
You've got grown ass men in their 30s, probably in their 40s, executive level employees at companies that are taking a week of PTO when GTA 6 comes out.
Oh, I guarantee you there is going to be a wave of flu whenever GTA hits. Just this crazy surge that's going to hit call-in lines everywhere.
That game's going to shut down the market for a while, but
so yeah, that is my bold prediction right now, is that where GTA goes next year, that's where the next year goes. So I think that we have put off this debate for 1 year. GTA controls it next, but this is yet another brick in my theory. Randy Pitchford is our anchor beam. I rest my case.
Your case is rested.
This is the end. And if you made it this far, you're truly braver and bolder than Randy Pitchford with a Twitter login. So click the like button, subscribe. We're trying to get to 250. And leave a comment with your boldest prediction about GTA pricing and just pricing in general. And if you're watching this in that same old hoodie that your ex-girlfriend left out in the rain after your breakup, upgrade your life. Comfort.com/hardcore, 15% off. Because you deserve to look good while being emotionally wrecked. We'll see you next time.